Welcome to your somatic weather map for the week of January 26th through February 1st. Now, as I've said in my previous two videos, if you're new here, this is a collective forecast. This is a collective reflection of the energy that's impacting all of us. The way that this energy impacts you individually is going to vary. Some parts of this forecast are going to be very alive in your chart, where others may not. All parts of this forecast may feel very alive in your lived experience. And the variance of collective energy is directly associated with how certain transits impact the unique elements of your natal chart. So, obviously, the collective forecast is hitting everyone, but there are unique experiences within the collective forecast based on the aspects of your chart that are yours and yours alone. Now, I'm not here to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I am not an astrologer that utilizes astrology in a predictive capacity. That exists, right? It's just not something that I choose to participate in. I utilize astrology as a tool for identifying patterns and patterning within the collective and within people's individual experience. I'm also here to utilize the tool that astrology is to name what's shifting in the field so that I can help you feel it with a little more clarity and a lot less self-abandonment, with even less pretending you're fine when your body and your nervous system are saying anything but, I'm fine. This week, as mentioned, we have Neptune entering Aries. We've got Mars fusing with Pluto. We have a Leo full moon. So let's break down how the mask that you're wearing that you didn't realize you still had on is sweating. So let's talk about Neptune and Aries first. This is a big one. Please pay attention. This is a big one. We are living through unprecedented times when it comes to astrological transits. Many of the outer planets that move so very slow, you're constantly seeing the moon in transit. You're constantly seeing Mars in transit. But planets like Pluto, planets like Neptune, they do not move quickly, and many of us have not seen major transitions until this period of time with these outer planets. And Neptune is going to sit in the, we have yet to see a transit with this planet that is this big, and we likely in our lifetime won't see a transit with this planet quite as big again. Okay, so Neptune hasn't been in Aries since the 1860s. It's been in Pisces, its home sign, okay, for the past 14 years. And that's been 14 years of dreamy spirituality. For those of us with very fiery charts, I feel your pain. But it's been 14 years of dreamy spirituality. It's been emotional bypassing. Again, if you come with a chart that has the context of fire and air, and you want to get things done in a direct capacity, these last 14 years have been quite the classroom. This has been 14 years of I'm aligning energy and a whole lot of trying to manifest our way out of embodiment. But now with Neptune entering into Aries moves. Okay, Aries takes action. Aries is a bit impulsive. Aries is the infant of the zodiac. It's the kid that gets off the bus, doesn't look either way, and says, I'm going and I'll ask for forgiveness later. Hopefully I see myself through this experience to ask for forgiveness later. That's the energy behind Aries, okay? Neptune in Aries is not about floating. It's about moving toward the vision while you're still sweating, essentially. It's taking action when action is incredibly messy. It's not clarity before courage. It's clarity through courage. So if you're feeling restless but directionless, oh my God, if you're feeling fired up but emotionally weird, if you're feeling like you're done with the fluff but unsure of what's next, you're not failing. You're reorienting yourself to the energetic shift that is occurring. And I want to gently remind you, maybe not so gently. We've done gentle for a long time. I think a lot of us need a little bit of a shake. Your body is a tuning fork and an antenna. A lot of the times, the symptoms that we're experiencing that cannot be fully explained are associated with our body picking up on things that we can't even see that are absolutely impacting our lived experience. So Perhaps, hopefully, we're stepping into a time period where we stop trying to pathologize everything too. We stop trying to create a disease state out of everything that we're experiencing. We also have Mars going conjunct with Pluto on the 27th. Conjunctions bring internal tension. It's close, it's combustible, it's uncomfortable a lot of the times. It's amplification of energy on both sides. So obviously we have Neptune moving into Aries, and then we've got Mars going conjunct with Pluto immediately after that. And it's going to hit deep. Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of desire. It fuses with Pluto, which is the planet of death and power in Aquarius. This is the first time these two planets have collided in centuries in this particular placement. You don't need to understand the history. Your body already feels it. And this is when performance collapses. The way you've been doing the thing, so to speak, while secretly protecting yourself is gone. Like that, poof, see ya, goodbye. And what wants to leave will start getting loud. This is when we all get uncomfortable and the sweating gets worse and we look around the room and our gut might feel a little bubbly, if you will. But the question I want to encourage you to ask is, what wants to be born? You'll feel it in your gut before your mind ever places words to the experience that you are somatically moving through. So I want to encourage you to watch for solar plexus pressure. I want to encourage you to watch for emotional whiplash, a sudden, clean no towards what you used to tolerate. This is not the time to repackage your power. It's the time to reclaim it, okay? To top this all off, we have a full moon on February 1st. By Sunday, it peaks, okay? The full moon is obviously going to crack open personal expression. It's going to illuminate performance patterns. It's going to really put under a microscope whatever you've been doing to stay safe while pretending to be seen. This is going to come to the surface for all of us. Leo rules the heart and the spine. So if your chest is tight, if your back aches, if your voice is catching, it's not dysfunction, it's buildup. And this moon is asking one thing from all of us. Can you let yourself be seen as you actually are, not as you're trying to be? Because if not now, then when? So while there will be a few days sprinkled in the upcoming week that don't have any sky activity, so to speak, the sky activity, the astrological transits that are occurring in the upcoming week are going to give us plenty to integrate. They're going to give us plenty to sit with. They're going to give us plenty to contemplate. And we're going to need those days in between to integrate our experience. Most of the time, this is where people miss the boat. They don't integrate. So I'm going to encourage you that if you feel something, if something's bubbling to the surface, please give yourself the time, the space, and the grace to integrate without pathologizing, without labeling, without making yourself wrong, because that's what these astrological transits are asking you to do. All right, let's get into rising signs. So you are going to listen for your rising sign. All signs are timestamped below. So if you want to just fast forward to your rising sign and not watch each rising sign, that's completely fine. I'm also going to encourage you, if you're familiar with your chart and with astrology overall in general, listen for your moon sign too. It's going to deepen the context of what is being asked of you with the upcoming week. So let's get into Aries rising first. Neptune just entered your sign. I have an Aries moon. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Pisces has been a really difficult experience for me due to the fog, due to the lack of clarity, due to the dreaminess, okay? So Neptune just entered our sign, Aries, which means your sense of self, your identity, your image, your body, your direction is getting rinsed in truth. You may feel completely unrecognizable to yourself, and that's not failure. That's just the beginning of this energy taking root in our home sign. okay? The old self-image you've clung to for safety, I'm going to encourage you to let it burn. I imagine you have felt this a bit if you've been paying attention, as a means of building up to this moment. Watch your adrenals. It's very easy to confuse output with burnout. Like if I just keep going, or it feels good to go, when we have prominent Aries in our chart, it's easy to overdo it. So watch the adrenals and lead with instinct. This is a very important differentiation. Please listen to this. Lead with instinct, not impulse. It is very easy with prominent Aries in your chart to be impulsive. Impulsivity can be a beneficial thing in certain circumstances, but generally speaking, impulsivity is the lower octave expression of an Aries. There's a maturation that comes with each sign. And when, as an Aries or somebody with prominent Aries in their chart, is able to acknowledge the impulse, wait, acknowledge all of the information, and then act on instinct, that is a sign of maturation within the Aries sign. So this upcoming week, pay attention to your impulses and allow yourself to collect the appropriate information to act from instinct. Okay? Taurus rising. It's subtle now, but the silence is shifting. Neptune just stepped into your 12th house. Dreams, grief, undoing. This is not about forward motion. It's about dissolving the coping patterns that you have built around control. You don't actually need a new plan. You need a spiritual exhale. And rest is not the enemy. It's the instruction, which is always so interesting to me. Reading for Taurus placements in the last several weeks has been interesting because typically Taurus is about slow, steady movement. And there's been this air of urgency and impulsivity associated with prominent Taurus placement. So the great overarching invitation is to turn yourself back down to perhaps a mediocre level in between the impulsivity and the urgency and the slow, savory pace you're used to taking, and allow yourself to rest. Stillness is one of the richest places to exist. We cannot receive clarity in chaos. So allow rest to be the instruction. You will get everything you need in that space of stillness. Gemini risings or moons, if you're listening for that as well too. Your feed is getting louder, but your soul is asking for discernment. Gemini is busy. It likes to take in all perspectives, consider all angles. It likes to hear everyone's story and then come to their own conclusion. I'm a Gemini stellium in the 11th house. That is a prominent placement in my chart. I could deeply understand this. I also piss a lot of people off. They don't understand how I can't be binary, or they don't understand why I'm not taking sides, or they don't understand how I can see things from multiple perspectives. So discernment is really important and especially appropriate for prominent Gemini placements. Your soul is asking for discernment in this upcoming week. Neptune in Aries is hitting your 11th house of people, of visibility, of future casting. So this week, you're going to start to feel connections that are actually fake, not because they're bad, but because you're growing. You get to let yourself outgrow places and spaces that you've probably lingered for too long. You're not here to be popular. Please listen to this. You're here to be real. So it's important that you start using that discernment. Gemini, you have incredible intuition. Utilizing your intuition, allowing for discernment to establish itself in conversations, situations, and scenarios with all people, and moving away from the connections that you feel a false sense of safety. Moving away from the connections where a part of you goes, something's off. Moving away from the connections that go, I outgrew this 6 months ago and I only stayed because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. The invitation is to allow your voice to shake as you kindly but firmly speak your truth. Cancer risings. So Neptune just lit your career house on fire, the 10th house. Okay. You're being asked to stop building from external pressure and start building from purpose. You don't need more strategy. You need to move from a place of conviction. This is the end of your professional mask. Scary, but also so incredibly liberating. The invitation for you in the upcoming week is to lead like you mean it, or don't lead at all, or don't lead yet. Right? We don't get to move from a place of inauthenticity. Performance is, I don't know if you guys have heard this repetitive theme in the weekly forecasts that are now being posted on YouTube or in other astrology that you're listening to or reading. Performance is out, guys. People want people. And they want people in real form. They want people in raw form. They want people in truth-telling form. They are done with performances. So Cancer, take note, tune in, lead like you mean it, or don't lead yet. Leo risings, where are my Leo risings at? This is my rising sign. So you are not here to perform power. Has anybody been in a cocoon and an incubator of really evaluating this in their life? You're here to embody it. Sometimes it's really terrifying to embody your own power, especially if you've lived previous lives where you did not wield your power in an appropriate capacity, you know? So you're not here to perform power. You literally are it. You embody it. And it's time to tune back into that frequency. Neptune in Aries lights up your 9th house of truth, of publishing. I'm so excited about this, of teaching, of long distance vision. I feel like it's been a very slow climb to get to this place, and there's freedom. I can taste it. It's so close on the other side of this. So there's no more vague spiritual takes. Thank God, right? There's no more hiding your philosophy behind safe words. I have really struggled with this. I spent many years in the Western medical paradigm, and then I spent many years in the integrative functional health and wellness paradigm. And I've really hidden a lot of what I do behind words that allow people to potentially not fully know in its depth what it is I do, but still accept me in the space of health and wellness. And the reality of it is, oftentimes you can't put words to the unseen. You're not supposed to be able to. You know, frequency, coherence, these are all words that I can use, but that's not necessarily something that I'm measuring in a way that the general populace fully understands yet. As per usual, I'm 10 steps ahead. And as annoying as it is, it's always led me in the direction that I was meant to go. So there's no more vague spiritual takes in this upcoming period of life. There's no more hiding your philosophy. Whatever it is you're here to embody, now's the time. And the full moon in your sign, yeah, that's going to burn off a part of you that still edits yourself. I can feel it in the way that I'm writing things. I can feel it in the way that I'm honoring that I don't actually want to be on camera outside of these. Honor the thing that doesn't feel logical or linear. That's how you know you're doing it right. The thing that society tells you you need to be doing, if you want to do the exact opposite, please honor the exact opposite. That's what you're here to embody, okay? Performance too with Leo, just remember, performing is a part of our essence. Like, we like to be front and center. We like to entertain. We are bright and we are vivid, but the drama that can come with that, lower octave. Embodying who we are in an authentic capacity doesn't require a performance. There's a difference between the two. Virgo rising, this week cracks open your inner vault. Neptune in Aries is moving through your 8th house. So sex, debt, death, power exchange. This is not cute intimacy awakening. It's a spiritual excavation. Stop intellectualizing your trauma, Virgos. Please, please start metabolizing it. There's no amount of intellectualization that is going to get you through the thing that you need to feel. Your body knows what the mind is avoiding. Libra risings, your relationships now become the stage for your spiritual evolution. So Neptune in Aries is going to flood your 7th house of relationships, which means anyone that you've kept around out of comfort, convenience, or performance, they gotta go. they gotta go. They're gonna go in ways whether you understand them or not. Like people might all of a sudden drop out. You might have a blow up, right? There may be hopefully like a discussion as to how you both have outgrown the relationship, but people that you've kept around for reasons that really aren't authentic and in alignment are going to go. So please don't rebrand your codependency as compassion. It's problematic for you, and it's really problematic for the person that you are in relationship with. And remember, codependency, a lot of the times it's a learned behavior. A lot of the times it's a protective behavior rooted in survival. Worked in certain environments, it's no longer working in your adult world and in relationships, but it's selfish. Because ultimately it's all about self-preservation. And when you move from a place of self-preservation as opposed to a place of alignment, everybody loses. So again, don't rebrand your codependency as compassion. Let what's true stay and let the rest fall away. Scorpio rising, your body is where your frequency hits first. Neptune and Aries just entered your 6th house, which is health, it's healing, it's labor, it's day-to-day rhythms, it's preemptive health, really. It's your work, it's how you're of service to people. And any wellness habit that you've built on control is absolutely going to dissolve. This is about integrity for you in the upcoming week, not perfection. So the invitation for you is track your nervous system, not your productivity. Every single sign in its own unique way is being asked to move out of performance and into alignment in a specific place in their life. And as you can see, that's represented by the house that this particular transit is occurring. Sagittarius rising, Neptune is now in your 5th house, creativity, children, joy. But this is not about pleasure, it's about holy fire. So create what you're scared of. Speak what you actually believe. This week is going to crack open your voice and burn off the branding. And I'm going to encourage you to let it be raw, let it be messy, and let it be fully, unapologetically, uninhibited, unedited, like yours. Just let it be yours. You know, a lot of people are, again, being asked to step out of performance. Capricorn risings, your foundation is shifting and you cannot keep pretending that it's solid. It's so scary for a Capricorn who's so oftentimes buttoned up and professional and executes at the level of a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Neptune is hitting your 4th house, which means the home that you've built, whether it be physically or emotionally, is going to start revealing fractures. And remember, the only way that we become whole is by admitting and acknowledging the fractures that exist in our foundation. So this is a repatterning of safety. I'm going to encourage you to be really gentle with yourself because this can feel incredibly jarring. And again, this is not about comfort. This is about truth. So the invitation for you is to grieve it as long as it takes, as many cry sessions as you need to hold for yourself, and then rebuild again. Just because something is coming to an end, just because there are holes, or gaps or fractures in the structure does not mean that it cannot be rebuilt or fixed if appropriate. So allow yourself to grieve the elements that need to be grieved when the fractures are revealed, okay? And then get to work and build it again. Do what you do so well. Aquarius rising, okay, your voice is no longer allowed to be abstract. Aquarius tends to live in their head. They have a really difficult time landing in their body. Movement while you're eating, movement while you're thinking, movement while you're talking or you're brainstorming or you're strategizing. Please do it. It's how you're going to connect these two worlds that absolutely are required in order for you to be fully present in the experience that we call life. Neptune is entering your 3rd house of communication, and the Pluto in your sign is going to demand embodiment. Aquarians who have such a hard time with the embodiment piece are being given an ample yet uncomfortable opportunity to move into a space of really sinking into the experience of their somatic body and allowing that to be their guide, your antenna for moving forward. This week is the week that you stop spiritualizing your detachment and start saying what you mean, even if it disrupts. Especially if it does, because I imagine there are some of you that have just allowed yourself to live above the neck and in your head in order to avoid conflict. This is the week that we no longer do that. We stop performing. And then Pisces rising. The fog is lifting, okay? And what's left is your actual worth. Neptune leaves your sign and enters your 2nd house, okay? Your body, your money, your self-esteem. Stop calling it inability to flow. You're being asked to claim a value system that you can actually live in. See, Pisces rising, you have this need for containment, but you're not going to naturally allow for containment to exist. There are other elements of your chart that you have to lean into and allow to hold you in order for the system that you can actually live in to present, to appear, to support you. Okay. Your intuition, after all this time, lives in your bones now. Okay. So this week is not here to punish any of us. Please don't take it personal. It's here to pull you out of hiding, to pull your truth out of hiding through your breath, through your voice, through your boundaries and your body. Now, if this forecast landed, I'm going to ask you to hit subscribe. I release these every week, and they're really not here for motivation. They're here to act as a mirror and to help you make logical sense in a way that beautiful brain of yours can sink its teeth into, because we are a very cerebrally driven society of the energy that is around you. Astrology is an incredibly practical tool when it's implemented appropriately. And these are just little nuggets of wisdom, giving you an opportunity to see just how practical that tool can be. So remember, this week is all about staying in the fire and not abandoning yourself. Not here to be another guru, just here to act as a mirror. See you next week.